mute. Tagala, ito video. Uindo cover pa jing. Isang tumang to isang to. Mute कर दो.
Yes, we are live now. We are waiting for our honorable guest, Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Kalhoro. As he joins us, we will begin this event. First of all, I have to introduce myself. I am Amin Joyo, Research Associate, Sindh Studies Center, SZABIST. And we are working under the umbrella of Social Sciences Department, SZABIST. Today, our lecture series regarding the heritage of Sindh is concerned. Uh, Today's lecture number one, and its topic is the rock art heritage of Sindh. Our honorable guest, Zulfiqar Ali Kalhoro, will join us from Islamabad. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Amin Joyo, Research Associate, Sindh Study Center, ZABIST. Today, an event is going to be happen regarding uh, Sindh Studies webinar series, and today is the lecture number one. Our topic for lecture number one is the rock art of Sindh. Our honorable guest, Mr. Zulfiqar Kalhoro, will join us from Islamabad. As he joins us, we will begin the event. We are waiting for Dr. Zulfiqar Kalhoro. No.
11. 8 to street. Nabila. Nabila.
uh,
8 to 1 is
Bhali.
which is Mahil Prai. Yes.
सर आवाज मेरी आ रही है आपको वेलकम सर
हेलो।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
हाँ,
वेलकम
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। आवाज़ आती है तो?
यस सर बिल्कुल
चल ज़बरदस्त।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर
हाँ, गुड आफ्टरनून।
वेलकम टू द इवेंट
Thank you very much. I just reached from my office. I'm sorry. I was just
इट्स ओके सर यू आर वेलकम सो
stuck in some.
formally we are starting our event
Mm-hmm.
first of
Okay.
all I will introduce myself. I'm Amin Joyo, Research Associate, Sindh Studies Center, ZABIST. And today we are having our lecture series regarding the heritage of Sindh. Today's topic will be the rock art heritage of Sindh. Now I would like to introduce our honorable guest, Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Kalhoro, who is an anthropologist and assistant professor at the Department of Development Studies in Pakistan Institute of Development Economics, that is PIDE, Islamabad. Zulfiqar Ali Kalhoro is an anthropologist and the author of 10 books. His main area of interest is religion and the art of Pakistan, especially in Sindh. He has also researched in the Punjab, Balochistan, and Gilgit Baltistan on religion, heritage, Sufism, folk art, rock art, and Islamic architecture. One of his books, entitled Perspectives on the Art and Architecture of Sindh in 2014, detailed with the lesser known heritage of Sindh. Apart from Islamic art and architecture, he has also written several articles on Sufism, Hinduism, and the Sikhism. He has also written several articles on Sufism, Hinduism. His four most recent books are Wall Paintings of Sindh, which was published in 2020, The Rock Art of Karachi, is also published in 2020. Reflection on the Potwar Heritage, published in 2020, and the Symbols in the Stones, The Rock Art of Sin, published in 2018. Deal with the lesser known cultural heritage of Sin. Currently, he is working on three research projects. Number one, megalithic Sin, memories, mystic of monuments of Potahar, and culture heritage along the Silk Road in Pakistan. He has completed his PhD in Asian studies with focus on the Kalhora history and architecture in Sindh from Qaid University, Islamabad. He is author of 10 books and regular contributor of Friday Times magazine. The books that comes under his name are Reflection on the Pothohar Heritage, Art and Architecture of Sindh, Memorial Stones in Tharparkar, Memory Studies in Kalora History, Economy and Architecture, Symbols in the Stones, the Rock Art of Sindh, Archaeology, Art and Religion in Sindh, Perspective on Kalora History, the Rock Art of Karachi, Wall Paintings of Sindh, and his recent book that is published is Glimpses of Sindhi Heritage. Now, I would like to request Dr. Zulfiqar Kalhoro Sahab to please tell us about the rock art heritage of Sindh and its importance in the history of Sindh. It's over to you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you, Amin Joyo, for introduce for a brief introduction about my work that I'm doing in different parts of Sindh. But my focus has always been on Sindh, particularly on Sindh's heritage, religion, and other perspectives. So, as you mentioned that today's lecture is on rock art in Sindh. So let me tell you that this is, I think, the least discussed and lesser known heritage of Sindh. Not much, not many people know about rock art in Sindh. So I hope that when I finish this talk, everybody at least will be in a position to know what is rock art. So today's lecture is basically an introductory type of lecture that would give you an insight into the rich cultural landscape of Sindh that we call rock art. So before discussing Sindh's rock art, let me tell you that it is not possible to cover every dimension or every aspect that is related to rock art. So today's lecture is, let me tell you again, is just introduction to the rock art in Sindh. So let me first share my presentation. Uh, am I audible? Amin, can you hear me? Hello, Amin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me share my presentation. I'm just looking at the share icon. Yes, I found it, but I don't know why it. I think it is disabled. So let me just check it why it is not working here. So can you enable the share screen so that I can share my presentation because it is.
Sir, please continue.
Okay, I'm just wanted to share my presentation, but I don't know why it is not working here. I don't know. So I just wanted to show you some of the slides so that you know audience at least can get idea that find what I'm talking about. Normally, it is very difficult that they don't know about what is rock art. So I don't know why the uh, screen share has been disabled. I don't know. So your administrator may tell you why he has disabled. So if uh, he will enable the screen, then I will be in a position to share my presentation. Otherwise, I cannot share the presentation. So if it is not there's no option, then let me tell you that before I discuss since rock art, uh, let me tell you that uh, there are many other regions in Pakistan where we find rock art. To mention rock art in Pakistan basically brings immediately to mind the name of Ahmad Sandani. He was the one who systematically documented rock art in Upper Indus Valley, in particularly in Chilas and other regions in Gilgit-Baltistan. So, based on his field work or field research, he wrote two books. One was Chilas, the city of Naga Parvat, and the second was Human Records on Chakram Highway. Apart from these two books, he wrote several articles on the rock art of Upper Indus Valley. Especially, he focused on the rock art of Chilas, discussing some of the very important rock art sites of Thalpan, Chilas, Shing, and some other sites. So, apart from Ahmad and Dani, uh, some of German scholars also did survey and documentation of rock art in Upper Indus Valley. So, based on their survey, they produced a number of books which were written in, especially in, particularly in German language. But thanks to their efforts, that at least now we know that these images or talking rocks actually were preserved in the form of documentation or in the books. So, apart from Upper Indus, and let me tell you that I have visited all the rock art sites in Gilgit-Baltistan, particularly in Diamar district, in Chelas district, and Kizar. So I'm also writing a book on rock art of Pakistan. For that purpose, I travel to these regions to see the rock art sites myself, because I was also working in Sindh. So my idea was to compare the both, the rock art of Upper Indus Valley and the rock art of Lower Indus Valley that we call Sindh. So in Upper Indus Valley, apart from Dr. Ahmad Sandani, one of the prominent name was Karl Jetmar, a German anthropologist who also wrote several articles on the rock art of Upper Indus Valley. And apart from him, we have another very prominent name, Harold Hoffman, who was also the head of German mission in Pakistan. He also wrote several articles on the rock art. And in addition to the rock art in Gilgit-Baltistan, uh, we have also some rock art sites which were reported by archaeologists, particularly from Balochistan. And one a very prominent name was Qamar Saeed Khan. He basically discovered rock art sites in Todrai in Loralai district. And based on his discovery, he wrote one of a leading article on the rock art Todrai, which was published in Pakistan Archaeology. And Fazildar Kakar also discovered painted rock shelters in Musa Khel near Malvi, and he also wrote article based on his discovery. So apart from Upper Indus Valley, Balochistan, I discovered some rock art sites in Islamabad. And from Islamabad, we have some other sites in Punjab, which were basically first studied by Mughal, Hayat, and Salim. So this is basically a very brief introduction about the rock art in Upper Indus Valley, in Sawat, in Islamabad, Punjab, and Balochistan. In Gandhara, in the land of Gandhara, Gandhara civilization, there are some scholars who also discovered some rock art sites and wrote books on based on their discovery. So I wanted to just mention two prominent names. One was Luca Maria Oliveri, who is head of Italian mission in Pakistan. He basically did his PhD research in Sabat, and the title of his PhD research was from bronze, from painted rock shelters of Savat Malakand, from Bronze Age to the Buddhism. So another name, the second name is Basha Sardar. He also did his PhD research in Savat, and later on he published his PhD thesis, which was titled as Buddhist Rock Carving in Savat. So after giving you an very brief overview of rock art in other regions of Pakistan, let me now come to our own area where I have been working since 1998. So let me just share my own journey, how I basically developed my interest in rock art of Sindh. It was in 1998 when I was doing research on wall paintings. So as you know that, I mean, in Sindhi we call wall painting chitsali, and sometimes it is also referred to as chitra. So I was asking from my friends that have you seen any tomb where one can find chitra? So you see, one of the friends told me, yes, we have seen some chitra also in Khizar. So I was wondering that are there any tomb in Kirthar as well? So I then requested him to take me to Kirthar. So he took me to one of the valleys, and which is known as Gaj Valley, and he took me to rock shelter, and on the wall of rock shelter there were engravings. So he said, "Look, these are the chips." And I said, "Oh." So this was basically my first encounter with rock engravings or the petroglyphs in Sindh. So I was amazed to see some of the beautiful symbols, signs that were engraved on a wall of rock shelter. So it was in 1998 that these, some of interesting things were unfolded before me. And then my subsequent year were spent in documenting the rock art in different valleys. So then I undertook my journey right from 1998 to 2020, and the journey still continues. So during course of my journey, I found more than 30,000 petroglyphs single-handedly without any institutional support. I mean, nobody supported me. So I did it alone. So this is my passion that I, you know, went from one valley to other valley in search of rock art. So for this, I am grateful to my companions in theater, to my friends who, extended helping hand to find rock art sites, and particularly when I started my journey from Gaj Valley. In Gaj Valley, there were my some Baloch friends who took me to Gaj Valley, and then it took at least over a decade to visit every dhora or dhori as we call in Sindhi. So I visited
Yes.
every dhora and dhori in search of rock art, and then
Amazing.
once I knew that okay, this is not the only valley where rock art is one can find the rock art. Then I was told okay, there are other rock art sites and other petroglyph sites in some of the valleys which were located to the north of Gaj. And in the to the north of Gaj, I mean, let me tell you that there are some valleys which are also home to large number of rock art sites, and the names of those valleys are Makhi, Salari, Khurdi, Shahar, Keharji, Buri, Mazarani, Gerelo, Sita, even Khinji. So you see, I visited all these valleys and found interesting, petroglyphs, not only petroglyphs, but also some rock paintings painted in on the walls of on the walls of the rock shelters. So to the north of, then I basically chose Gaj as a center point. From Gaj, I told you from to the north are the valleys of the Makhi, Khurdi, and Salari, and to the south are the valleys of Taki, Khashani, Nali, Khandhani, Haleli, Angai. So I also visited all these valleys and found large number of rock art sites. So I'm sure that you are quite familiar with the landscape in Sindh, particularly the I'm talking about Khitr. So you
Yes.
see, it is not easy to go. It is not easy to find a rock art site that in that difficult terrain. It takes it takes days, sometimes weeks, to find a rock art site. So there is no road, that you travel on to reach to get the rock art site. So all that you have to do, you have to go hiking to rock art site. So this is the basically strategy or methodology that I adopted. I asked my friend, then I have to go hiking to reach to rock art site. Sometimes it took a day, and sometimes it took 2 days to reach rock art site, and sometimes I had to stay live in a valley over a week. in order to document. I wanted to document each and every image that was engraved on a boulder or on a wall of rock shelter or on a wall of caves. So after Keter, then I went to Bhit Baddo ranges. You know that we have Bhit, Baddo, and Keter ranges in Sindh. So after documenting some of the record sites in other mountain ranges, I then shifted my focus to Mahal Kohistan. I'm talking about Thanobula Khan and
Yes.
the Sindh Kohistan area, particularly in Malmadi and in Mole Valley, Baran Valley, and then I also went to Karachi area, particularly in Gadab, and I found large number of rock art sites in Gadab as well, and then and as you also briefly mentioned the name of my book, which was published last year, that was based on my field work that I conducted in Karachi. The name of the book is Rock Art of Karachi. So, based on my survey and documentation that I did in Karachi, I wrote a book, Rock Art of Karachi. So, I discussed almost all the rock art sites which I discovered are my friends already discovered, and basically they took me to those record sites. But interestingly, from north to the south, the journey is not easy. As you know, that you need resources, you need friends, friends to take you to those remote valleys of Khethar, Bado, Bhit, Lucky Hills, and even Maher Valley in Karachi. So apart from rock engravings, when we say petroglyphs, so we are basically talking about the engravings that people make on the rock. So apart from rock engravings or rock carvings or petroglyphs, we have also rock paintings. Yeah, paintings which are painted on the wall of rock shelter or caves. So I first time found rock shelter in Maher Valley in Karachi. Maher Valley is basically located about, I think, 80 or 90 kilometers from Karachi or Gadab, to the north of Gadab. So this is basically a very brief, introduction about my journey that I started in 1998, and the journey still continues. So uh, in Finns rock art, uh, it's very rich actually as far as themes are concerned. So the themes include hunting scenes, fight scenes, representation of animals, the representation of religious signs of some religious communities, particularly of the Buddhist community. You know that we know that Sindh was home of Buddhism. So we sometimes think that I sometimes wondered when I started working on rock art of Sindh that where all these Buddhists went away or where they disappeared. Where are the signs or symbols or structures of Buddhists located in Sindh? And we know that we have some physical remains of Buddhist community in Sindh, and some other scholars have conducted research on some of the Buddhist monasteries or stupas. So, be it the monastery or the stupa of Kahujo Dado in Mirpur Khas, or Sudhiranjo Thul in Tandur Muhammad Khan near Saidpur Takar, or Thul Mirukun near Daulatpur Safan in Nawab Shah, and even Lepar Gangro, Soneti, Dhamaraj Odado. So these are all basically the remains of a stupa structure that we have seen. But in rock art, interestingly, I found more than 4,000 images of stupas in rock art. Based on this research that I conducted in mountainous regions of Sindh, I classified all the discovered stupas in rock art into three groups. And then I assigned a tentative chronology to each of the group. This is my own basically, research. So number one was that we have domed structure, or domed stupa in rock art. Means dome means stupa with the anda or without anda. It is called anda means dome. And then we have a tower-like stupa or tower-like structure that we call in Sindhi thul, as it is known in Sindhi thul. We call it is a thul. So apart from these two classification, I also found a third category of the stupas in rock art, and that was multi-tiered stupa. Multi-tiered stupa means is a multi-storied stupa with or without dome. So this is basically three types of stupa that we have in Khitr. And as I told you, that nobody knew before that we have such large number of stupa representation in rock art. So I told you that I discovered more than 4,000 stupa images in rock art of Sindh, right from North Valley to the south. So we have more stupa images in Mazarani. From Mazarani, you can move to the further south to Shahar Valley, and then from Shahar, we have some of amazing, fantastic representations of stupas in Buri Valley. And Buri, is basically located in Mehar Talika in Dadu district. And from Buri, you can go to Maki Valley, from Maki, then Salari. And I have visited all these valleys in search of rock art. So this is like the interesting journey, and also very interesting to know the history of Sindh. So apart from these Buddhist representation rock art, we have also representation of some other communities, like we have a fire altars in rock art, and we have some symbols which are associated with Hinduism. So much before the arrival of Buddhists or Buddhism in the valleys of Khizar, we have representation of some Indus period, Indus period signs in the rock art of Sindh. There are some legends which are depicted in on the walls of rock shelters, on the boulders, on the rock walls, as we call in Sindhi, bun. Bun is basically rock wall. So mostly the ancient artists chose bun because bun is it has a broader canvas, and it is also visible from distance. So they chose to make images on the rock wall. So in particularly in Sita Valley, we have some of the ancient representations of narratives which are mostly from the Indus period, particularly the masked deity and the legend of the seven dancers that we also find on Indus seals. So, in addition to Sita, one can also find interesting representations in Mazarani Valley. But Gaj is the most interesting in terms of both historic as well as
Sir, we can't hear you. Is there any problem? Hello? Sir, we can't hear you. Sir, we can't hear you. तव्हां डिस्कनेक्ट थी विया आहियो सर.
Okay, I think there was a connectivity issue. I think.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I was discussing the themes in rock art of sin. So, as I was discussing the themes of religious community. So, apart from the representation of some of the religious communities, much before the arrival of Buddhists in Khiter or other mountain ranges, we have some prehistoric representations, particularly bull representation. So when we talk about Sindh rock art, so the recurrent theme in Sindh rock art is bull. So you find bull representation everywhere in Khizar. So this is, I think, amazing that Sindh has such a large number of bull representation. So it is interesting. You see the rock art, or you can classify the rock art into two broader categories: bulls and Buddhists. So we have more representation of the the Buddhist community, and then bull representation from prehistoric to in to the contemporary period. People still make images on the on rocks or on rock shelters. So rock art is basically a living tradition in sense. So I have also written article on ethnographic petroglyphs in Sindh. So if anyone is interested to know more about the ethnographic research or ethnographic petroglyphs in Sindh, one can find article. The title of article is From Stone Tools to Street Tools: Ethnographic Petroglyphs in Sindh, Pakistan. I basically presented this paper in one of the conferences in Valcamonica in Italy, where I discussed the themes or motifs in contemporary or ethnographic rock art and Sindh. So it is very interesting that Sindh is the only region in Pakistan where people still make engravings, or they still make carvings. So you can read more about contemporary rock art. So ethnographic research provides very interesting insight into Sindh's rock art or Sindh's history. So if you wanted to know ancient rock art or ancient images on the rocks, this basically ethnographic information help you a lot to reconnect or reconstruct the ancient history of Sindh. So I think this is all from my side. I mean, if you have any question, please feel free to ask, or you can open floor for question answer.
Sir, it's open for question and answer,
Mhm.
but I think there is no question from any viewer. Mr. Saz Agarwal has joined us,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
he
shared
is
this particular
he
link.
liked this session. I have few questions.
Yeah, but you see, before you ask me question, but I wanted to ask you why your share screen was not working. Because idea was, you see, you told me that there would be conversation between you and me. You are host and I'm a guest. Then later on, you told me that okay, sir, there would be a PowerPoint presentation. I mean, then I prepared presentation, but I'm amazed that you, share is it is I failed to share, and I tried to share my presentation, but I don't know. Perhaps it was disabled from your technical team,
Yes.
so I couldn't share the presentation. Otherwise, it would have been much better that audience uh, at least should have seen the images that I prepared in my PPT.
It's okay, sir. I think you have done well and you have
No, I
find
know that
all the contributions.
it's not an issue. I know I did it very well, but I just wanted to share some of the images with the. Anyways, so I shared the
It's
screen,
okay,
but it is.
sir. You can share now if you want.
Yeah, I
It's
just wanted
working.
to share. No, yeah, it's I don't know whether it's working or not, but I just open it and it is
Yes, sir. It's enable. You can
okay.
share it if you want.
Let's see.
It's okay, sir.
Mhm.
Now I think we have done almost, and
Yeah, okay,
you.
fine. Okay, ask. Okay, don't know issue. If you have any question, please.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask that have you got any script on the in the shape of rock art or anything else like
Yeah,
that?
yes, we have found some inscriptions, particularly inscription from Gupta Brahmi. And there are at least six Gupta Brahmi inscriptions, scripts at the rock art site of Sadomazo. If anyone wanted to know about the ancient script, one should go and visit the rock art site of Sadomazo. At the rock art site of Sadomazo, it's very near to Vahipandi. I think just maybe 20 or 30 minutes walk, or maybe it's just you can go walking to the site. So it's not far away from Vahipandi. So it's 30 minutes walk or 30 minutes drive from Vahipandi. So there are six Gupta Brahmi inscriptions there. Uh, One can read three. Other three are in a very bad state of preservation, so one cannot read those three. So I basically shared these three scripts with one of the leading uh, archaeologist, Muhammad Naseem Khan, who knows Brahmi, even Khoshti. So he basically shared the translation. He deciphered the basically all three Gupta Brahmi scripts, and I was amazed to see that there was the names of the persons who donated some something there. So they basically wrote their names. Like one of the name was like something like Matara, and you see the Matara is a Sindhi name, and we have also the folk tale. Matara is a famous character of the Smoky Matara folk tale. So in one of the scripts there was name of Matara, and then there was another name Gustaki, Gustati, Parandapa. These are basically names which were written in the script. So apart from Gupta Brahmi, we have some aksharas or letters of the Brahmi, but we have not found any Khosti inscription. Yes, there are some letters, but I can't claim or I can't say that we have also a Khosti script. So all that we have found in the rock art of Sindh are Gupta Brahmi scripts, which are mainly located at the rock art site of Sadomazo near Vaipandi. Unmute yourself. Oh, I can't hear you. Unmute, unmute करें. जी.
Sir, there is a question from Mr. Saz Agarwal
Mhm.
that is there any contemporary rock art?
Yes, I told you that as an anthropologist, I was more interested in ethnographic petroglyphs. So we in anthropology we call it ethnographic or contemporary or modern petroglyphs. So in modern petroglyphs, the themes are very interesting. You can find handprints and palm prints or handprints, and with the palm prints or handprints, sometimes you see the signature of the artist, and it is very interesting, particularly in Mole Valley. Some people from Burfat caste or Burfat tribe, they have written their names, what basically they engraved on the rock. For instance, someone wrote, "He munjuhat ahe." This is my palm print. This is my hand. Like they also engrave uh, X Kuhadi, emoji Kuhadi aaya. This is my X. So like these are the basically interesting ethnographic facts that I have brought from the field. Apart from handprints, we have also footprints, and people engrave what they observe around. For instance, they also created the images of trucks, buses, aeroplanes, choppers, and even
Okay, sir.
weapons. You can see a variety of the weapons are even British period vehicles. So this is interesting. Like the contemporary rock art of Sindh is very interesting, and it
Okay, sir.
provides a missing links about Sindh's history. Normally archaeologists believe that when you talk about handprints, say, oh, this is like maybe some in rock art. You see, there's multiple interpretations. So you can say, okay, this hand maybe it has some relationship to the magic, or so you can have a different interpretation. But in contemporary rock art, you can have interviews with those artists, and I conducted interviews with those who created images on the rock.
Okay, sir.
And
Sir,
I mean, like,
sir, excuse me, sir.
seems.
Sir, Mr. Saz Agarwal is thanking you,
Thank you.
and he's with us, and we are also thankful for him. And there is another question from Aziz Katpar Sahab.
Mhm,
He's asking that would you please explain that what prehistoric periods you have discovered in Sindh's rock art,
mhm,
and which rock art was the most ancient in Sindh?
mhm. You see, it's we can, Aziz, we can establish a tentative chronology if you wanted to talk about prehistoric petroglyphs in Sindh. Particularly, we have most of Sindh's uh, prehistoric petroglyphs are from Mesolithic, and then some we have of particularly um, from Neolithic, and in some areas there are some uh, uh, images which depict the origin of the agriculture. I mean, for instance, in one of the valleys, uh, it is shown how bull was domesticated. So two farmers are shown, and they are trying to pull the bull, and they are trying to basically, they wanted to basically uh, domesticate that particular bull. So there's like a lot of scenes of the bull domestication in Sindh. So with respect to your question, that what different types of petroglyphs we have and period, yes, we have mostly from Mesolithic, then we have from Bronze Age, and this is all that we have from rock art of Sindh. So mostly Mesolithic, we have a uh, there is like a styles of different periods. So if you know the Mesolithic, basically this is typical of Mesolithic period, and this is like of the typical Bronze Age. So yes, from Mesolithic, Neolithic, and some from Bronze Age.
Okay, sir. There is no more question, but as you know that I will ask a question. I want to know that how many organizations are working in Sindh regarding the rock art.
You know better than me. No organization is working. No organization is documenting. Only individual are like working, and they are basically sincerely working, and they have sincerely worked. Like Badr Abdo has done research on rock art. Aziz Kingrani is doing a fantastic work on rock art, and some other. I think now. Since I have been writing, and I have done extensive research, so I opened up different avenues and different. I have shared different themes in rock art, and now more and more people, I hope, will do research on rock art. So I think only few people are working. No organization, no institution is sincerely, working on rock art because they don't uh, think that it is valuable. So we need to basically highlight the importance that okay, this is very important because this is since history. It tells a lot about not about since history, but since economy, culture, society. Why these artists created images on the rock? that was a sacred landscape. You see, I mean, there's a lot about the sacred and cultural landscape of Sindh that one can discuss. But you see, uh, maybe we will discuss more in next lecture the interaction of the artist with the landscape, and you see the how images created influence and power. The interaction of artist with image and with rock. So this is all the debate or discourse that we will have hopefully in next lecture. So today's lecture basically was designed or planned to give an introductory insight into synth rock art, because uh, there's literally nothing on Sindh rock art. If you wanted to know rock art research in Sindh, maybe I think Mujumdar was the only person who briefly mentioned the rock carvings at Dal. When was he doing survey, he accidentally discovered some of images which he believed that were the handiwork of the shepherd. He didn't think that he saw those images in isolation. He didn't realize that entire terrain of Khizar were full of rock art sites. And later on, I think Salman Rashid in 1996, while going to the Kuteji Kabar, Dog's tomb, he also mentioned some rock art sites in Sita Valley. And later on, some other scholars, Badar Abdo, Ishtiaq Ansari, and I think Aziz Kingrani, they did some research on the rock art.
Sir, and other question is arrived from Mr. Aziz Katpar,
Mm.
that isn't there any rock art from Paleolithic period?
No,
It
we
would
can't
be a
say that.
very beneficial for the people of Sindh if you produce a book about rock art of Sindh in Sindhi language.
Yeah, I think you can read Badar's book, Budhya Jusafa Ki Kitani Chitali. He has wrote a book in Sindhi. I think you see, let me tell you that every scholar has his or her own perspective to look at these images. So let me just respond to your query. Uh, I don't say that we have images from Upper Paleolithic. There are some images of bison, as we call in Sindhi, jungli mein. It's amazing that in Gaj Valley, and you can find that article which I wrote for Friday Times, and I discussed about bison. That why basically bison was engraved in on rock wall in Sindh. So I believe that it is very ancient images. So one can say possibly they are of Paleolithic, but we have not done any. We don't have done any carbon dating, and you see that we are not equipped with these techniques. And as an individual, I don't have resources to to do all to apply all the techniques which I think are very, very necessary, very important to do. Like we can't do AMS, all with that we can do. Okay, we can see the very micro uh, uh, erosions and patina, repatination. This is a very traditional methods to see how these images are old. So yes, I believe that bison might belong to Upper Paleolithic, but this is all that I can say of these.
Okay, sir. What will you suggest that who will come to preserve this cultural heritage, and how? Is it possible that more than 32,000, as you have said in your conversation, that you have visited more than 32,000 sites? So,
No,
is
no, no,
it
no.
possible
Not 32,000 sites, images.
images?
I
But
documented images here.
is it possible to cover all these and preserve?
Not possible. Because see, all that we can do, we should preserve those rock art sites which are very close to urban areas, and we uh, can convert these rock art sites into rock art parks, following the model of following the Italian model. And I mean, you see, let me tell you, I have been to several countries to present the rock art of sin. I have been highlighting the Rock Art of Sin, at international conferences. So in one of the conferences, I was amazed. Someone read paper about conversion of rock art site into rock art parks. And later on, I visited some of rock art parks in Valcamonica Valley in Milan, Italy. So then I proposed in the rock art of Karachi book that we should also do we should also adopt similar methodology and convert all the rock art parks which are very close to Karachi into rock art parks. With this exercise or this activity, we can promote rock art tourism. And this, with the promotion of rock art tourism, I'm sure that local community will get maximum benefit. Local community will directly or indirectly involved in the rock art tourism. So all that we can do is to promote these sites as a potential tourist site. We can convert these rock art sites into rock art parks, and some are very close to the Bahria town. So you can involve all the stakeholders, and this is how you can preserve. But I don't know who will preserve. Of course, authorities concerned
Sir,
can take these.
one last question.
You
Uh,
want me to say more?
no, sir, I
I
understand.
don't want to say more.
Okay,
Who
sir.
is like doing what to these sites.
I want to ask you that please tell us, our viewers, that which department can take actions and precautions for this work.
I think Sindh Antiquities, Culture and Archives can, I think, Tourism Culture Department can uh, do sincerely this work with the help taken from EFT. I think both can preserve these sites around Karachi. So it's not a difficult job. It's not difficult task.
Is it expensive? What do you think, sir? Is it expensive?
Uh, may not be, I think, but unfortunately, we lack a team of professionals. So all that we need to hire professionals to conserve our preserve. So I think money is
Okay,
not
sir.
problem for both
Yeah.
organizations. Problem is that we need a team of professionals who know the rock art. So I mean, preservation is a very technical thing. So what will you preserve? What do you know about the rocks? What do you know the importance of the images? If you don't know this all that you can do. Just you put a fence around the around the boulders. It's difficult. But I suggest that some of the boulders can be relocated, and then authorities concerned, uh, establish a set up rock art park near Gadab. So those boulders, which I think will be destroyed because everybody knows that there's a mushrooming of private housing schemes that is taking place around Karachi, and maybe in a decade or so, we may lose the physical existence of all these engraved boulders, which depict the most ancient history of Sindh, particularly around the Karachi. Interestingly, we have some of the fantastic representation of animal footprints. So it tells a lot about the hunting techniques, how the hunters basically tried to communicate and created images in stone. So like these images are very important to save because these images say a lot about Sindh's ancient history.
I think you have done very well, and you
Ha,
also
and
know
very well.
that,
Oh, thank you, thank you. You give me a good mark.
sir, the viewers and our listeners are also commenting in the comments box
Mhm.
that you have done well. And the other thing, you also know that there are so many archaeological sites in Sindh. As per my knowledge, these are about 3,000. And you know that our archaeological structures are now the crumbling structures as you post on social media. So the concerned departments are not taking care of those ancient and very important sites. So how can they go for the rock art saving, or they will spend some money and some energy or power? So
Okay, like let me just add one more thing apart from
yeah.
what you asked. I think uh, our young scholars can do a lot actually, but you see, problem is that not everyone has resources to go and document these sites. See, the Sindh government should provide financial support to the university students, and like some ZABIST students can go and I mean Karachi, Gadab is not far away from your campus. They can go and they can visit the sites, and you as a teacher or as a researcher can encourage them, and you can guide them how to document. So I think even like a Department of Anthropology and Archaeology, there are some of very hardworking, very talented students from the Department of Archaeology and Anthropology in University of Sindh. I mean, they can involve these students. They should provide scholarship to those students who wanted to work on rock art sites. So idea is to highlight the importance of rock art. You should regularly organize lectures in both in English as well as in local language in Hindi in order to create awareness among the masses so that they should know that this is valuable, this is not useless. They say, oh, these are the lines, it's a lika hai. So lika are meaningful. So you have to make it meaningful. So the most important is that you need to create awareness and you should involve your youth. असांखे पंहिंजे नौजवाननि खे इन्वॉल्व करणु खपे. Unfortunately, we are not helping them. See, I started on my own, and my work very well. Nobody supported
Yes.
me, and I'm working in every part of country on the rock art, and I've been helping everyone. But idea is not that I should help. It is government's responsibility that they should provide financial support to them,
Sir,
and I'm sure
unfortunately,
that they will do.
unfortunately, there is no archaeological department in Karachi in any university.
I think not only archaeologists can do the work on rock art. Everybody can do it. Like historians have their own perspective to look at these ancient as well as modern images. I'm talking about rock art. I mean, even sociologists can do. Everyone has his own perspective to look at these images. So everybody, different persons, different scholars come up with a different interpretation. You see, you are trained in, for instance, you are trained in sociology. You have your techniques and methodology. You have different theories that you can apply. So this is we want from our young generation. Everybody should try to apply. Okay, you might have read about, for instance, Michel Foucault, how he discussed about layers of archaeology of knowledge. I'm sure that you might have read archaeology of knowledge. So discourse, you can take these images as a discourse. Discuss how different layers you can find. So like every scholar has his own perspective to look at these images, and I'm sure if you know government can sincerely, and am sure that they will involve. But all that we can do, we need to involve the young scholars, particularly the students, university students. We need to support them, and this is how we can preserve our dying culture. Not I cannot document all the rock art sites or other heritage sites in Sindh, which I have been doing. So we need to uh, support. We need more scholars. This is very it's a dilemma that we do research, but we never share. There's a lack of mentoring. We need to basically mentor some students, senior, serious students, and I'm sure that some of students from your department, from Karachi, from Sindh University, can do a lot if they are given a opportunity, and I'm sure they will excel.
Of course, sir. The individuals are really very interested and they want to do the research, but there is no guidance, there is no institute that helps support or guide them. So
Now,
it's
university,
5:15.
no, no,
Yes, sir.
I think I'm sure that university teachers give them training.
Yes.
But you see, they cannot give them money to go and do documentation. This is the issue. You're not getting my point. What I'm saying, the point that I'm trying to make is that government should help the university students. They should financially help them
Right.
so that they go and work on these sites which are located in remote valleys of Sindh, Khoisan, and Khisar, Bhit, Bado, and some other valleys. This is what I'm saying.
Yes. You mean
So
there should be a
you are
budget,
also
there should be a short amount of budget in every university that supports the individuals or researchers.
yeah.
So for your time with us for 1 hour, and I think it's clear that you have make your point about the rock art on Sindh, and you have mentioned so many sites that you have visited. You have shared your experiences. I think here is no more question in the comments box. Yes, so you are almost done. So, sir, nice to meet you here on this platform, and I hope that I'll see you in future in 1 or 2 weeks on any
Hopefully,
other
hopefully we
topic.
will. Yeah, hopefully we will have. I discussed with your dean, and he requested me that we will have one lecture on anthropological perspective on Sir Parker. I will
Yes,
discuss
sir.
on Sir Parker because that is also most neglected in terms of the heritage. Nobody knows about Sir Parker. All that we know, there are Jain temples, Marvi Jokhu, and that's it. But I will
Yes, sir.
discuss about the concept of hero in Sindhi society. We're discussing about memorial stones, especially Sati and hero stones. So hopefully, uh, not next week, but next month, probably.
Inshallah, sir, we will be in contact, and we welcome you on this platform of Sindh Study Center. We are thankful to you to be with us for 1 hour, and inshallah, I hope that we'll see you again, sir. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
sir.
Thank
It's
you.
a lot, face.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for being with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.